So next week, I have the LinkedIn Personal Branding Challenge, and I'm very excited to present this because so many of the calls that I've had this week have involved personal branding. Highly talented people with professional backgrounds who either want to be coaches and consultants or have already started becoming a coach or consultant and want to take their company to the next level. And LinkedIn is one of the easiest ways to do that. Now, LinkedIn personal branding is a little bit different than LinkedIn corporate branding. LinkedIn is a personal branding site. It is not a corporate branding site. And so even if you have a corporation or you have a company, whatever you want to call it, you are still going to need to be leveraging your personal brand to get that company noticed. So this is why it's so essential to focus on your personal brand. You can't connect with people through your company. You can only connect with them through your personal brand. People are less likely to watch your corporate content than they are to watch your personal content. This is why you need your personal brand. And your personal brand is meant to be a tool to get clients, if that's what you are doing. You know, if you're an employee, that's a different thing. But if you are a coach or consultant who's trying to get clients, LinkedIn is an amazing place to be if your clients are on the platform. To be able to get those clients those potential clients turned into actual clients, they need to understand who you are, because there's so many coaches and consultants out there. There's so many people who sell something and then don't deliver the results that people are a little bit tentative about looking to connect with coaches and consultants because they're like, oh my gosh, they're going to try and suck me into their program. Well, if you have something that is unique that you're offering, you are adding a ton of value and you're creating predictable outcomes, that's a recipe for success. And if you don't put yourself out there, how are people going to know that they need you? They're not magically going to be like, oh my gosh, I need to talk to Tom, right? They need to be shown that they need to talk to Tom, and not in a way that is salesy or hard sell or pushing or anything like that. What we want to do is showcase. I come up from a professional dance background, aside from being a dentist and all these things. So I always talk about auditioning. Your personal brand is an audition for how you can actually help people, how you are thinking about the work that you're doing, how you communicate, how you come across, your personality. All these things are really important to leverage through your personal brand because they allow people a glimpse into what it might be like to work with you. Most people are not going to see one piece of content and be like, gonna go sign up, right? They're actually going to spend a bit of time doing what I call creeping on your profile, creeping on your content, going and digging through what you're actually about and seeing if what you say over a period of time resonates with them. That period of time might be sitting for an hour and like watching video after video after video. Great. Some people, it might be up over a couple of weeks, might be a couple months. I have people who come to me are like, I've been following your stuff for 2 years. I'm finally ready to talk to you. So it takes time to leverage your personal brand to turn it into sales. Sometimes you'll have instant sales. Sometimes you're going to have long-term sales. That's why when you get into doing your personal brand on LinkedIn, this is not a 1 week tactic. It's not even a 1 month tactic. It is a multi-year tactic. So you need to be in it to win it. And for some people, the idea of it being a multi-year tactic is scary because they're like, well, what if I evolve? Well, what if you evolve? Your personal brand will evolve with you. We get more and more entrenched in our niche in a good way the more we do the work that we're doing, right? So if you know what your niche of genius is, or maybe you don't know what your niche of genius is, then you should definitely be at the challenge. Then you are able to go narrow and deep into that niche. You are able to start saying yes only to things that fall in your niche and start saying no to all the things that don't. And when you do that, it allows you to become masterful. It's hard to ever say anyone is a master because there's always more to learn. And especially when you get into your niche and you start going narrow and deep, you're going to find out there's more that you don't know than you actually know. And for those who love to learn, that's a beautiful thing. For those who are like, oh, I just want to be done, that's not a beautiful thing. So this is, again, why you need that multi-year tactic. So you will evolve as you get entrenched into your niche. You will evolve as you work with clients, and coaches evolve and consultants evolve with the kind of clients that they can work with. Everyone starts somewhere, and you're going to start with someone who is maybe 5 years, you're 5 years ahead of them. And then as you get those kind of people results, then you start to move your business ahead, you start to move your coaching ahead, and you're able to start working with a different echelon of people, and you're going to be able to start leveling up how you actually operate with people. But it is a process. right? A new coach who has no experience or a coach who has little experience is not going to be doing a $35,000 program, right? Not likely, unless they have a whole bunch of experience in industry that they can bring into their coaching, that they can get those results. But most people are going to start at a lower point than that, and it's okay. And you will evolve as you do that. And your personal brand will evolve with you. My personal brand, the aesthetics of it have evolved. The titles that I use have evolved. Everything has evolved because I'm constantly evolving. And if you're not evolving, you're probably going to end up outdated. So it is a good thing to know that your LinkedIn personal brand is going to evolve with you, because I want you to evolve. Your LinkedIn personal brand is such an amazing tool. Honestly, I have built 2 companies solely, don't know where those balloons came from, solely through my personal brand, and been able to sell those. So it is a beast of a platform, and it is not complicated. They haven't made LinkedIn complicated. It's a matter of doing the things, doing them regularly, and doing them over a period of time. That is the key to building an amazing LinkedIn personal brand. You don't grow a large following by hopping on once every 6 months. You grow a following by showing up consistently. And some people don't like the idea of, influence or being a follower. If you're trying to get people to notice you, you are going to have to play in that game, and your LinkedIn personal brand will allow you to do that. It is such a powerful tool, because if you put in the effort, you get the reward. It's not like Instagram. It's not like Facebook. Like Instagram, you can buy followers. LinkedIn, you can't buy followers. You have to hard earn everyone that you connect with, everyone that decides to follow you. You have to hard earn it. And you're not going to hard earn it in one massive attack on doing the work that you need to do. It has to be consistent. I put out a post earlier this week about, stop taking massive action. LinkedIn for sure is not a massive action platform. It is a small action platform. And that means you can do it in 20 minutes a day. You can do it in, if you're going really hard after and you're trying to get connected with a bunch of people, you can only go to a certain point, because the LinkedIn algorithm caps you. So there's only so many new people you can outreach to connect with. Once you're connected with them, you can send as many messages as you want. If you're running events, there's only so many people you can invite to an event per week, right? So they have capped it so that everything is hard won and authentically won on LinkedIn. So knowing what are the little actions that you need to take on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis to get LinkedIn working for you should put your mind at ease that it's not big action. It's little tiny actions. And that's exactly what we're going to dive into with the LinkedIn Personal Branding Challenge. We're going to dig into discovering what your niche of genius is. And even if you think what your niche of genius is, I would still suggest you come, because we're going to dig into it and get it even more clarified. You want to be able to go into conversations with people who find you on LinkedIn and be able to succinctly tell them exactly who you work with. Most people that I get on calls with can't. They're pretty meandering. They're like, I could work with this person. I could work with that person, which is fine. And if you want to be able to start having fewer phone calls with more of the right people, you got to get really targeted on who you should be connecting with. So not only can you explain it better, but when you're going and trying to find those right people to start conversations with, you're finding those right people to start conversations with. So it's a matter of knowing who you are, what you want out of your coaching or consulting, who you need to be speaking to about that, how you need to be speaking to them about it, so that they are not feeling like they're getting hit over the head with a pitch, because nobody likes that. So many people on LinkedIn have LinkedIn PTSD because they open their inbox and it's like inundation with pitches. So you're not going to teach you how to go in with a pitch. I'm going to teach you how to actually have a real conversation like you would with a human being if you were sitting in front of them at a coffee shop. And what that does is it allows you to start getting those right people onto calls with you, or getting those right people into events with you. That leads to a call, that leads to actually getting them into your program. It is not rocket science. It is a process. It is a process that is repeatable. My clients do it all the time, whether they are smaller clients like Crack You Open Sessions or Prove It Labs, or my big program, The Accelerator. They all use the same process to get to where they want to go. They just pick the program based on what is best for them. And I am not holding anything back in this challenge. It is highly tactical. You're going to have a workbook to work through as well, so you can build out your own playbook of how you're going to leverage the information that you're learning. And what I want to see is that you are taking the information that we go deep with. And when I say we go deep with it, usually my challenges are fairly small. There's not that many people in the room, which I love, because then we get to actually go in and dig into what you actually need from it to make the results that you want happen. So you are going to walk away with a ton of information. You're going to be able to execute on it because it's going to be clear. It's going to be step-by-step what you actually need to do so that you can start getting LinkedIn working in your favor. And again, LinkedIn is a beast of a platform. So when you get it working in your favor, the world is your oyster. You can crack it open and you can have whatever you want because of the amount of exposure that you're going to be able to get through it. So if you haven't already signed up for the LinkedIn Level Up Challenge, I highly encourage you to do it. It's happening August 6th to 8th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 2 p.m. Pacific. It's an hour and a half each day, just for 3 days, so that we can dig into it. And part of the reason I do it over 3 days instead of doing it in one big session is I want the information to percolate. I'm going to be planting some seeds and opening up some little parts of your brain that need time to churn and start getting some revelations from. That's why I do it over the 3 days instead of one big session. So you'll get far more out of it in this format than I ever get with a one long session. So I really do encourage you to join. And if you have any questions about it, send me a message. Otherwise, I will see you in the Zoom room next week on August 6th. Take care.